Admiral Kexthor stood aboard the bridge of the Draconian Empire's flagship Invictus, his scaled skin shimmering with anticipation as he studied the holographic projection of the blue-green planet before him. Earth, as its inhabitants called it, had caught the Empire's attention through a series of inexplicable energy readings that defied their understanding of technological progression. The massive warship, along with 20 others in his fleet, had emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system. Their crystalline hulls absorbed and redirected light, making them nearly invisible to conventional detection methods. Or so they thought. "Admiral," his sensor officer called out, confusion evident in the subtle shifts of their scales. "I'm detecting anomalies. The planet's energy signature doesn't match our intelligence reports. According to our data, they should barely have achieved spaceflight yet." Kexthor's inner eyelids flickered with interest. "Explain." "Their visible infrastructure suggests pre-space age development, but there are energy patterns that shouldn't exist. They're too subtle, too elegant." The officer's claws danced across the holographic controls. It's as if someone took advanced technology and deliberately masked it to appear primitive. The Admiral's scales shifted to a deep purple of contemplation. In 3 centuries of service to the Empire, he had overseen the subjugation of dozens of worlds. Each followed a predictable pattern: discovery, evaluation, demonstration of force, and finally, integration into the Empire. But something about Earth felt different. "Launch the probe drones," he ordered. "Standard reconnaissance pattern. Let's see how they react to our presence." As the drones descended toward Earth's atmosphere, the bridge crew watched intently. Typical pre-space civilizations would either fail to detect them or respond with primitive defensive measures. Instead, the unexpected happened. The drones simply vanished. Not destroyed, not disabled. They ceased to exist as if they had never been there at all. The sensor readings showed no debris, no energy discharge, nothing that would indicate conventional weapons. "Impossible," the weapons officer hissed. "Sir, we're detecting a transmission. It's in High Draconian." The message that played through the bridge speakers sent a collective shiver through the crew. "Greetings, Admiral Kexthor. We've been expecting you. Perhaps we should discuss your Empire's habit of making assumptions about developing civilizations." The voice was calm, almost amused, speaking their language with perfect inflection. Before Kexthor could respond, his tactical officer's scales flashed urgent warning patterns. "Admiral, multiple energy signatures emerging from the planet's surface. They're everywhere. The readings suggest technology far beyond our current understanding." The holographic display transformed, revealing what had been hidden. Beneath Earth's seemingly primitive exterior lay a network of advanced installations that defied conventional physics. Structures that existed partially out of phase with normal space-time, energy patterns that wrote themselves into reality like living things. "By the first egg," Kexthor whispered. "We haven't discovered them. They've been waiting for us." The human voice returned, still carrying that hint of amusement. "Admiral, we're transmitting coordinates for a diplomatic meeting. We suggest you come alone. Though we both know your fleet's backup protocols will have them attack if you don't return." "That's fine. It will give us a chance to demonstrate why we've chosen to hide our true capabilities for so long." As Kexthor's scales shifted between patterns of shock and military calculation, he realized that everything the Empire thought it knew about technological progression and species development might be wrong. They had come to evaluate a primitive world for conquest. Instead, they had stumbled upon something that threatened the very foundations of Draconian understanding of the galaxy. "Prepare my shuttle," he ordered, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "And maintain combat readiness. If this is a trap." He left the threat unspoken, though a small part of him wondered if threats meant anything to a civilization that could make matter simply cease to exist. As his shuttle departed the Invictus, Kexthor couldn't shake the feeling that he wasn't heading toward a diplomatic meeting. He was heading toward a revelation that would change the course of galactic history. Behind him, The Draconian fleet hung in space like a collection of deadly crystalline sculptures, their weapons primed but untested against an enemy that had already proven themselves beyond conventional understanding. The true test of the Empire's might was about to begin, and for the first time in his long career, Admiral Kexthor wasn't certain of the outcome. Admiral Kexthor's shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere, escorted by what appeared to be two shimmering fields of pure energy. No visible craft, no detectable propulsion systems, just coherent light and force holding perfect formation. The implications made his scales itch with unease. The designated meeting point was a facility that shouldn't exist. Located in what humans called the Mariana Trench, it emerged from the ocean depths like a dream taking physical form. Crystalline structures that put Draconian architecture to shame rose from the abyssal plain, their surfaces rippling with patterns that suggested they weren't entirely present in normal spacetime. As his shuttle touched down on a landing pad that materialized moments before contact, Kexthor received an urgent transmission from his fleet. "Admiral," his second-in-command's voice carried barely contained alarm. "We're detecting changes in local spacetime geometry. The humans appear to be doing something to the fundamental structure of reality around our ships." "Hold position," Kexthor ordered. "Take no aggressive action without my direct command." He didn't add that he doubted such action would matter. The facility's entry chamber opened to reveal a single human figure. A tall woman with dark skin and silver-streaked hair, wearing what appeared to be a simple blue uniform with no visible rank insignia or weapons. "Admiral Kexthor," she spoke in perfect High Draconian. "I'm Director Sarah Chen of Earth's Defense Initiative. Welcome to Challenger Deep Station." Kexthor's tertiary heart skipped a beat. The station's name was a reference to Earth's deepest ocean point, yet the facility itself seemed to exist in a pocket of space that defied conventional physics. "Director Chen," he responded, maintaining his diplomatic composure. "Your civilization's capabilities are unexpected." "Yes," Chen smiled. "That was rather the point. Please, follow me. There's something you need to see." They walked through corridors that seemed to fold through dimensions Kexthor's mind refused to process. Windows looked out into impossible spaces, some showing the deep ocean, others revealing views of distant galaxies, and some displaying what appeared to be alternative versions of reality itself. 3 centuries ago, Chen explained as they walked, humanity reached a crossroads. We discovered what we call quantum manipulation, the ability to alter the fundamental properties of space, time, and reality itself. We faced a choice: reveal our power and potentially destabilize the natural development of other species, or become silent guardians. They entered what appeared to be a command center, though its technology made the Empire's most advanced facilities look primitive by comparison. A holographic display showed the Draconian fleet in orbit, but it revealed more than just their physical presence. Kexthor saw probability waves, quantum states, and multiple timeline potentials all overlapping. "Your fleet is currently experiencing what we call quantum uncertainty enhancement," Chen explained. "Every possible outcome of this encounter is happening simultaneously. Your crews are aware of it on a subconscious level, which is why they haven't attempted any aggressive actions despite their standing orders." Kexthor's scales shifted to patterns of shocked recognition. The legends, the stories of ships that disappeared without trace, of fleets that reported experiencing multiple realities simultaneously. "Yes," Chen nodded. "We've had to intervene occasionally when various civilizations' expansion threatened the natural development of others. We prefer subtle approaches, but sometimes a more direct demonstration is necessary." A new alert flashed across the quantum display. The Draconian Empire's Supreme Command had received word of the fleet's situation. A second battle group was preparing to enter hyperspace, intent on rescuing what they perceived as their captured forces. "Ah." Chen's expression grew serious. "And now we reach the moment of truth. Your empire faces a choice. Admiral, you can escalate this situation, forcing us to demonstrate exactly why we've hidden our true capabilities for so long. Or you can help us explain something far more important. More important than the revelation that humanity has been secretly guiding galactic development for centuries. Kexthor's scales rippled with disbelief. Yes, Chen activated a new display, showing what appeared to be a massive disturbance moving through space-time itself, consuming reality in its wake. Because something is coming, Admiral. Something that exists outside conventional reality. We've been preparing for its arrival for generations, building alliances with those civilizations advanced enough to comprehend the threat. The Draconian Empire's expansion finally brought you to our doorstep. And now you must decide. Will you be allies in what's coming, or will you force us to remove your empire as a potential obstacle? The choice, Kexthor realized, wasn't really a choice at all. His scales settled into patterns of grim determination as he watched the quantum display show timeline after timeline, where this encounter reshaped the galaxy's future. The age of Draconian expansion was over. The age of survival was about to begin. The Draconian Empire's Supreme Council chamber had never hosted anything like this. The crystalline amphitheater, designed to amplify the voices of the Empire's most powerful leaders, now held its collective breath as Director Chen's hologram stood at its center. Around her, displays showed impossible things. Human outposts hidden throughout the galaxy, monitoring stations that existed partially out of phase with reality, and technology that reduced the Empire's greatest achievements to children's toys. 3,000 years, High Counselor Vexterra whispered, her scales shifting through patterns of disbelief. Your kind has possessed this power for 3,000 years, and instead of conquest, you chose to watch, to wait, to guide. We chose wisdom over power, Chen replied, her hologram as solid as if she stood physically in the chamber. Humanity learned early that the ability to reshape reality comes with a responsibility to protect it. Every civilization must be allowed to develop naturally, to find its own path to the stars. The quantum display shifted, showing the approaching threat, a vast disturbance that consumed normal spacetime like cosmic acid eating through reality itself. The entity, if it could be called that, defied conventional physics. It existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, its very presence warping the laws of nature. We call it the void harmonics, Chen explained, a consciousness that evolved outside normal spacetime. It feeds on quantum potential, the very energy that advanced civilizations harness for their technology. The more a species advances, the more it attracts the entity's attention. Admiral Kexthor, now standing with the High Council, felt his scales ripple with sudden understanding. The disappearances, the lost colonies, the ships that vanished without trace. All this time, we thought they were accidents or the results of unknown natural phenomena. Some were, Chen nodded, but others were our interventions, necessary to prevent technological advancement from drawing the void harmonics' attention too soon. We needed time. Time to prepare, time to identify potential allies, time to develop defenses that could work against something that exists partially outside of reality itself. The council chamber erupted in debate. Some called for immediate military action against the human threat, while others argued for alliance. Through it all, Chen stood calmly, letting them process the paradigm shift that had just shattered their understanding of the galaxy. Enough, High Counselor Vexterra's voice cut through the chaos. Director Chen, you speak of preparation and defense. What exactly are you proposing? Chen gestured, and the holographic display transformed. A new structure appeared, a massive installation that combined human quantum manipulation technology with draconian crystal engineering. We call it the Nexus, she explained, a facility that exists simultaneously in multiple realities, allowing us to predict and counter the void harmonics movements. But we need the Draconian Empire's help to build it. Your crystal technology, combined with our quantum manipulation abilities, could create something greater than either of our civilizations could achieve alone. And if we refuse? War Minister Zexcor demanded, his scales flashing aggressive patterns. Chen's expression remained neutral, but her words carried weight. Then we'll be forced to ensure your empire cannot interfere with what must be done. We've hidden our true nature for millennia not out of fear, but out of respect for the natural development of other species. That courtesy ends when the survival of all reality is at stake. As if to emphasize her point, the quantum displays showed the void harmonics consuming another star system at the galaxy's edge. The process was beautiful in its horror, reality itself unraveling like a tapestry caught in cosmic winds. Your empire stands at a crossroads, Chen continued. You can cling to your dreams of conquest and force us to remove you as a potential threat, or you can help us save everything you've built. The choice is yours, but it must be made now. The void harmonics is accelerating its approach, drawn by the combined quantum signatures of every advanced civilization in this sector of space. Kexthor stepped forward, his scales showing patterns of determination that drew all eyes in the chamber. 3 days ago, I commanded a fleet sent to subjugate what we thought was a primitive world. Instead, I found something that changed everything I thought I knew about the galaxy. If humanity wanted conquest, they could have achieved it long ago. They're offering us partnership not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. The council chamber fell silent as the implications of his words sank in. The holographic displays continued their dance, showing timelines where their civilizations united and others where they fell separately to the approaching threat. The age of conquest was ending. The question was whether the Draconian Empire would help write the next chapter of galactic history, or become another footnote in its pages. The construction of the Nexus proceeded at a pace that defied conventional physics, which, given humanity's quantum manipulation abilities, was precisely what was happening. The massive structure took shape in a region of space, carefully chosen to exist in a quantum superposition, simultaneously present in multiple realities while anchored to none. Admiral Kexthor stood aboard the observation deck of the Invictus, now serving as a coordination center for the joint human-Draconian construction effort. His scales shifted through patterns of wonder as he watched Draconian crystal crafters work alongside human quantum engineers, their combined expertise creating something that neither civilization could have achieved alone. Remarkable, isn't it? Director Chen appeared beside him, her quantum projection as solid as reality. Your people's crystal technology provides the perfect medium for quantum manipulation. It's almost as if our civilizations evolved to complement each other. Before Kexthor could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. The quantum displays showed a massive disturbance approaching, reality itself buckling before an entity that defied comprehension. It's here. Chen's voice carried no fear, only grim determination. The void harmonics has detected our construction efforts. We've drawn its attention sooner than expected. The entity emerged from hyperspace like a nightmare-given form. It existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, its true shape impossible for organic minds to process. Where it passed, reality itself began to unravel, stars flickering between multiple quantum states, planets experiencing every possible version of their history simultaneously. All ships, battle positions. Kexthor ordered, his military training taking over. Crystal resonance shields at maximum. The combined fleet, Draconian warships and human quantum vessels, moved into formation around the partially completed Nexus. They had trained for this, but simulations couldn't capture the true horror of facing something that existed partially outside normal spacetime. Remember, Chen's voice carried across all channels. Conventional weapons are useless. Focus on the quantum disruption protocols we developed. The void harmonics feeds on potential. We need to limit its options, force it into a single reality state. The entities struck first, sending tendrils of anti-reality through space. Where they touched, matter simply ceased to exist, not destroyed, but retroactively erased from history. 3 Draconian ships vanished, their crews experiencing every possible death simultaneously, while also never having existed at all. But the defenders were ready. Human quantum ships projected fields of forced probability, limiting the entity's ability to manipulate reality. Draconian crystal ships channeled these fields, their structures serving as amplifiers for human technology. The void harmonics recoiled, experiencing something it had never encountered before: resistance. The Nexus, Chen called out. It's trying to prevent its completion. If it succeeds, we lose our only chance to contain it. Kexthor watched as reality itself became a battlefield. Human ships phased between dimensions, launching attacks from quantum spaces the entity couldn't predict. Draconian vessels used their crystal technology to create zones of absolute reality, spaces where the laws of physics couldn't be broken, trapping portions of the void harmonics in single states of existence. But it wasn't enough. The entity was too vast, too powerful. It had consumed countless civilizations, grown fat on the quantum potential of entire galaxies. The defensive line began to buckle. We need more time. Chen's voice was tight with concentration as she coordinated the human fleet's quantum maneuvers. The Nexus requires another 30 minutes to achieve minimal operational capacity. Kexthor's scales shifted to a pattern of absolute resolve. Then we'll give you that time. He opened a channel to all Draconian ships. Execute Protocol Omega. Crystal resonance to maximum. Focus all power on creating stable reality zones around the construction teams. Admiral, his second-in-command, protested. At that level of power, the crystal matrices will become unstable. Our ships won't survive. We're beyond survival, Kexthor replied. This is about giving reality itself a chance to continue existing. Execute the protocol. The Draconian fleet began to glow, their crystalline hulls channeling more power than they were ever designed to handle. One by one, they began to shatter. But each destruction created a moment of perfect reality stability, zones where the void harmonics couldn't exert its influence. Work faster, Kexthor ordered as he watched his fleet sacrifice itself to buy time. Every ship we lose reduces our chances of surviving what comes next. The entity raged against their defenses, its frustration manifesting as waves of probability collapse that threatened to tear space-time apart. But in its anger, it made a mistake. It focused too much of its attention on the obviously sacrificing Draconian fleet, and not enough on what the humans were actually building. As the last Draconian warships succumbed to their overtaxed crystal matrices, the Nexus finally achieved operational status. The massive structure pulsed with combined human and Draconian technology, its very existence a testament to what their civilizations could achieve together. Now, Director, Kexthor called from the failing bridge of the Invictus, his scales glowing with the same resonant energy that was tearing his ship apart. Whatever you're going to do it now. Chen's response came not in words but in action. The Nexus activated, its structure reaching across multiple realities simultaneously. But instead of fighting the void harmonics directly, it did something unexpected. It began to sing. The quantum resonance of Draconian crystals combined with human reality manipulation created a harmony that extended beyond normal space-time. It wasn't sound as conventional beings understood it, but rather a fundamental frequency that spoke to the very nature of reality itself. What you're experiencing, Chen's voice carried across all frequencies, is what we call quantum resonance harmonization. Every reality, every possibility, every potential outcome, all vibrating in perfect synchronization. The void harmonics recoiled. For the first time in its incomprehensible existence, it encountered something it couldn't simply consume or erase. The harmony forced it to exist in a single defined state, something that was anathema to its nature. You feed on quantum potential, Chen continued, her voice now carrying the weight of multiple realities. The possibility of change, of choice, of different outcomes. But what happens when all possibilities collapse into a single immutable truth? The entity tried to retreat, but the Nexus's field had already enveloped it. Reality itself began to stabilize, probability waves collapsing into certainty. The void harmonics found itself trapped in a cage made not of matter or energy, but of absolute truth. Impossible, it communicated, its thoughts rippling through space-time. Reality cannot be fixed. Possibility cannot be denied. Change is the only constant. Change remains. Kexthor responded, his ship's crystal core joining the harmony even as it failed. But now it follows our rules. Together, we define the parameters of possibility. The Nexus's song reached its crescendo. Human quantum manipulation guided the process while Draconian crystal technology provided the framework. The void harmonics, an entity that had existed since before the current universe, found itself bound by the combined will of two species it had dismissed as insignificant. We offer you a choice. Chen's voice carried the authority of countless civilizations the humans had secretly protected. Accept limitation. Exist within the bounds of our reality. Contribute to creation rather than consuming it. Or remain trapped, experiencing a single state of existence for eternity. The entity raged against its constraints, but the choice was already made. The combined power of human and draconian technology had created something new, a framework within which even chaos itself had to operate. As the void harmonics submitted to its new existence, the remains of the Draconian fleet hung in space like a memorial. Their sacrifice had bought the time needed to complete the Nexus, and in doing so, had helped save reality itself. Admiral, Chen turned to Kexthor as reality stabilized around them. Your people's sacrifice will not be forgotten. The Nexus stands as a testament to what we can achieve together. The question now is, what do we build next? Kexthor's scales shifted to a pattern of new beginning as he surveyed the changed battlefield. Where once there had been two civilizations seeking dominance, now there was partnership. Where there had been fear of the unknown, now there was opportunity for growth. We build understanding, he replied, his voice carrying across the quantum frequencies that now connected their civilizations. We build trust. We build a future where power serves wisdom, and strength protects rather than dominates. The Nexus pulsed with possibility, not the chaotic potential that had drawn the void harmonics, but controlled change, guided by the combined wisdom of humanity and the Draconian Empire. The age of secrets and conquest was over. The age of cooperation had begun. In the centuries that followed, the story of the Draconian fleet's sacrifice became legend. But it wasn't remembered as a tale of defeat. Instead, it marked the moment when two civilizations discovered that their greatest strength lay not in their individual powers, but in what they could achieve together. The void harmonics, now bound by the laws of conventional reality, became a source of controlled quantum energy, its power harnessed to fuel a new era of exploration and discovery. The partnership between humans and Draconians transformed the galaxy, creating a network of cooperation that protected developing civilizations while guiding them toward their own unique destinies. And in the depths of space, the Nexus continued its eternal song, a harmony of human and Draconian achievement, a reminder that the greatest victories come not from domination, but from the wisdom to reach across the divide and build something greater than ourselves.